If you have a dream, go after it. And the hardest part is just starting, taking that first step. My name is Lateshia Dowell. I am the owner of Flaky Bakes. I started Flaky Bakes on June 16th, 2014, and it happened kind of out of an accident, from me being impatient. It was the holiday. My mom was making her sweet potato pie, which is my favorite, and I didn't want to wait for the whole pie to bake. So I took some of her pie crust and the filling, and I made a small pie, and then I figured out that it was a pretty good idea. So then I started playing around with it more, cultivating the recipes, and then I launched the company on June 16th, 2014. I sold to family and friends first, and luckily I have a very supportive support system. They kind of took to it, bought a bunch of product, gave it to their family and friends, so word of mouth was my starting point, and it's what helped me. And also not burning bridges at old workplaces. So my background is communications. I majored in broadcast journalism at Wayne State, and then I went into broadcasting. I was a producer for several years. I worked for Local 4, I worked for CBS back when they had a daily news show. I was the news producer for that show. And then I went out of broadcasting and went into corporate communications for Ford. I did that for a year, and then I went into PR. I did PR for a year, and then I went into social media management, and I did that for a company called Zoop. I did that for 2 years, and I also handled their PR, and I was their brand spokesperson. So the first station to give me a news feature was WDIV, Local 4. It was my old boss, and they wanted to feature Flaky Bakes for a Tasty Tuesday segment. And that happened on October 28th, 2014, and that kind of skyrocketed the business. It got so busy while I was still working a day job that I couldn't keep up with the demand. It was such a popular thing that people wanted to experience, and I ended up baking. My schedule would go from, I would work from 9 to 5, and then I would come home, I would eat, and then I would bake from 7 until maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. I would sleep, I would get up at 7 to make deliveries before work, and then I would do it all over again. So needless to say, I burnt myself out and I ended up getting sick. So it was a lesson in learning how to manage your time and knowing that you just can't do it all. So since then, I've become a little bit better of managing my time and my schedule, but I'm still a one-woman show, and I'm looking forward to bringing on help in the very near future.
Mr. Steve Harvey!
So in 2017, I was featured on a national television show on ABC called Steve Harvey's Thunderdome. The concept of the show was 2 entrepreneurs would go up against each other and pitch their business to the audience. The audience would then vote on who they wanted to win, and I ended up winning. I won $20,000 to grow my business. It's actually how I'm able to afford a commercial kitchen, which I rent now. I've rebranded the company. I have a new website. I'm shipping now. I have custom boxes, and I have a graphic designer that's helping me. So it's really helped in being able to grow the business from, baking in my home for 3 years. I'm working on a 5-year plan, but my ultimate goal is to have piekies in Starbucks. I would love for piekies to be in Starbucks. It's kind of the avenue that I've been taking over the, past month or so, is trying to get them into different coffee shops. It's a perfect combination, coffee and a small pikey. So that's the goal. Whatever your dream is, whatever you're passionate about, just go after it and don't feel like you're being held back by your job or whatever. You can still do it, and you can do both if you want to. You just have to know how to properly plan out the time to do that.